my friends. How are you? It is Tuesday, September 10th. It's nice to be connecting with you all again. Phoenix was great. It was so hot. I still can't believe how hot it was there. 110 during the day. And of course, by the time we leave, they don't even crack 100 degrees the following days. But I'm back. This has just been such a crazy, weird new moon into the quarter moon. I started talking about that. Oh, not that. And I told you guys that I had to finish the new moon the Virgo Sagittarius quarter moon last week, and I would be getting back to you with part 2. But then my thing uploaded sideways, and I'm kind of tired already of, just one time using my handmade signs for my titles and stuff. But I wanted to clean it up anyway before I shared it with you all. Jason is doing very well. We had a very good week together. It was just a really sweet and tender week to be together away from the rest of the family, because whenever we see each other, it's like the whole family's together. And I just don't even remember the last time he and I just got to chill alone together and hang out. I just kind of plopped into bed next to him. We were both in our devices and just kind of listened to music and talked and vegged out, puppy dogs on the bed, watching TV, kind of timeless. Like I felt like I was going back into childhood, but today. So prayers to Jason. I'm just so proud of him. He's such a good person. It's always great when you get to go see family in their own element, because their lives, when you watch, their lives kind of tell a different story about how you know them, how you've always thought about them. And it's like, wow, this side of you is really cool. And you've been living like this and creating this about this reality, your world, with all your peeps, all your good doing, and I never got to see it. Well, we're not supposed to witness that. As family, we don't get to witness that stuff. But for other times in our lives when we get to be able to have that perspective, it's really kind of awesome. And it's just so nice to see that no matter what, people are going to thrive in their own way. We don't have to make sure they do this or that. Way is going to find its way. People will find their way. And so I think, okay, so let's talk about this for a second. This is the other reason why I haven't been doing readings, because this is just ugly. I mean, you have all this solid blue triangle-y energy that is just kind of lockstep. We're going to do it this way. These are kind of like hard habits and trends. You can't break these things. They're such beautiful trines, but the drawback with the beautiful trine is that you can't really break those bonds. You get stuck in such harmonious habits, you can't break them. And then you have this beautiful trine that's being anchored by a corner of a really hard, crazy, weird T-square. This is Jupiter. This is Neptune. This is the Sun. The Sun has been exactly in opposition to Neptune today. Neptune has to do with your dreams, spirituality, illusion, disillusionment, the things that you can't see, your secrets, your hidden enemies, your the spaces you go, like that mindset. Like if you're in a hospital, you kind of are in this incubated mindset that isn't really reality. It's kind of is filled with hope. It's filled with spirit, but it can be kind of disillusioning. And so that's why it also meditation. It also rules healing. And it's expansive. It's limitless. Neptune is one of the outermost planets in our solar system, Pluto being a little bit farther. And then you have Jupiter here, who's just in a lot of tension with that, blowing things up, making them bigger. And then you have the Sun opposite that, which is the soul force for our United States horoscope. That's a president. Has he just been a little bit kind of crazy this past week? I mean, I haven't turned on the news, but whatever I've seen, I'm like, oh boy, this is just bonkers. Nobody can even follow it. No one can make sense of it. You just can never pull in the loose ends. It's just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on. It's just like a big, tangled, awful mess of fish line with your favorite fishing pole. You can never get to the end of it. And so then we have the personal planets, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, that is also in play. So what I'm just trying to say is this is a crazy week. I am sorry to say also, I just don't feel like reading on anything because it's going to be so super biased and wrong. No, I mean, it'll be correct, but it would be like every single reader out there giving a reading on the same thing, but it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. And we each have a piece of the puzzle. And even though each one of us, we're all correct, it does not make sense until you put it together. Moreover, the pieces that we get, some of them are upside down. So we might sound like we're on totally different planets, but really we're not. We have all the pieces. It's just this weird atmosphere. But the weirdness, the goodness about it, when it's weird like this, there's a lot of gentle healing going on in the background that we can't see. And all of a sudden, one day, everyone's going to wake up and we're going to be like, ah, now that all makes sense to me. That was such a weird time. Well, that time is not now, but it's coming. Okay. I did not like these 29-degree marks here. Those mean endings. And so the next video, I'm going to attach that 12-minute video to this one. And I think what I'm going to do for this week, I'm not going to do any new readings because this is just such weird energy. It's almost like a time waster to me. I'm going to be catching up on things that are relevant now. Like I did a reading on the TALIBAN, you know, that group that Donald supposedly was going to have at the Camp David. I did one, and of course that one got marked for not being good for advertisers. I have so many marks on me right now, just not bad marks, but just marks as far as, just a second. Oh, it's still going. Okay, but I don't have strikes against me. I just have marks as far as being unsuitable for advertisers. So then you guys don't get your notifications for some time. So that's why I have to speak in code. I know I'm rambling, but I'm just like getting back into the groove of this. And I mean, how can I not ramble with this, right? Right? So what I want to tell you is that I'm going to be catching up with some videos. There are other videos that I have uploaded, but they've been locked because they're not formatted. And I'm just going to do a lot of catching up because there's just, we can't, it's impossible to get clarity on anything. And then I will be doing the full moon in Pisces. You guys, this is bonkers. Oh my gosh, because Saturn, I'm going to have to wait for this later, but we are coming up to a really big one because Saturn is going to go direct. And usually Donald does not like it when Saturn goes backwards or forwards. And usually when Saturn starts to go forward, that's when indictments and stuff start getting handed down. Yay! I'll explain more of that later. So, okay, so enjoy part 2 of the Virgo Sagittarius quarter moon. And a reminder, I recorded this while I was in Phoenix, so I didn't have editing tools. I just had to let the camera run. So some parts of it are rough, but it's kind of mind-blowing. It's kind of cool. Okay, thanks you guys. Good to be back. Hello, good morning. Hi, friends. Here we are. Last night I said I was going to come back to this Taroscope because what was blowing me away was Rebecca Mercer and what she's got going on. Not only it's about what she's got going on, but what's going on against her and around her. So, for example, this Page of Cups keeps showing up for everybody. It shows up for, let's see, it doesn't show up for Donald, surprisingly, but for Six Wands Mob, they have, oh, they don't. I thought they did. Okay. For Pelosi, she has Page of Pentacles in the 12th house. Page of Pentacles. This 12th house has to do with secrets or hidden enemies, idealism, spirituality, but this is her secret. Page of Pentacles. Uranus is there intercepted, so somehow we might eventually get to a shocking thing that's going to develop related to taxes and perhaps maybe related to Donald. This Page of Pentacles is also in the 9th house. What's the 9th house? Putin's house. Place of faraway lands in the 9th house for the FBI. The Page of Pentacles again shows up in the House of Secrets for the intelligence communities. For Junior, Page of Pentacles shows up here in the 5th house. 5th house of creativity, the sun, children. And look, we have the sun and Mercury and Venus there. The president, his communications, and money. Mercury is also children. Jared shows up there too. For Jared, he, in the 5th house, of course this is him, he gets the Wheel of Fortune in the 5th house. So this is a fortunate placement for him. If it's a fortunate placement for him here, it's also a fortunate placement for Junior, meaning they're working in tandem, because the 5th house also has to do with true love, or platonic love. Well, they love what they did. And then for Rebecca Mercer, she has the Page of Pentacles in the 7th house of her opposition. Isn't that interesting how that develops? But let's look at Rebecca Mercer a little bit more closely, because on the ascendant, remember the ascendant is the eastern horizon. That's the thing that ushers in the life of the chart, and this is the lunation, so this is what's ushering in her week, is the moon. Treachery, deceit, lies, outcry, also China. In the 1st house, she has the Justice card. You know who else has the moon in their 1st house? Is Donald. So there's a collaboration there. You know who has Justice on the ascendant that's giving them life this week? Is the Six Wands Mob. This is Rebecca Mercer. On top of it, in her House of Secrets, she has the Lovers, Putin. In the 11th house of her hopes, wishes, and dreams, she has Angry Putin. But what's in the, if you want to think of the top of the chart or what's crowning a reading, in her midheaven, her most public self, she has the 5 of Cups. This is like the 5-continent coup, the disappointment and depression that she's participated in globally with all the elections that she's helped steamroll. It also could be that she's going to be really upset this week because she is showing up everywhere in very peculiar ways. Where she has So Junior, so this is her 10th house, what's crowning her chart. Junior has the King of Wands crowning his chart. And Jared has the Ace of Wands crowning his chart. So he is part of an op. Nancy has been holding that tightly. Did I say the Ace of Swords? No. Anyway, sorry. The other thing that's going on with her that stuck out of my mind, 9th house, Putin's house, overseas, most important thing for her this week is the devil, herself, her data. In the 8th house of taxes, other people's money, look what she has. The 4 of Pentacles, trying to hang on to what she has. I believe Donald also had this in the 8th house. So she and Donald mirrored each other when it has to do with taxes and other people's money. She had some more mirrors. Where's that piece of paper? Let's see. 10 of Wands. Oh, look at all these 10s down here, you guys. So, in the, let's see. In this 3rd house, she had the 10 of Swords. That's like your communications. That's short distance travel. That's ruled by the moon. So there's going to be a lot of outcry for her this week. Deceit and treachery. Close to home. Of crap she's done. In the 4th house, look at all of her burdens. These always scream to me indictments. So she's got this in her 4th house, her house of home, where everything bears down on her. It's almost like your center of gravity, your gravitational pull. This is what is bearing down on her all week, are her indictments and her burdens. And you know who else had this here? In this 4th house is their gravitational pull? Jared. And then opposite the 4th house and the 10th house, you know who had the 10 of Wands? The FBI. So it's almost like the FBI is going to be very public with maybe some burdens and some indictments this week. And she's got it right on the polar opposite. In the 5th house, she's got the 4 of Wands, the White House. The Sun is in the 5th house. So there's like a double corroboration there with the White House and her burdens. Then look up here at the 6th house. She's got the 9 of Wands. Can you believe this? She's got the 9, the 10, the 10. And the 9 of Wands in this house of service, well, she's got a 9 of Wands here, a 10 of Wands here. It's like her service to the White House is begetting her indictments. You know, in the White House, and the FBI. I've never seen the 10 of Wands in the 10th house. This is the public house. This is for everything to see. You know, in her 1st house, she has the 2 of Wands, her communications. Her 2nd house, her 1st house is her identity, has to do with justice. So, Justice Department's going to be on her mind because of her communications. And she's done because she's got all these indictments, burdens from the White House, carrying water for them, and all the service she has given to them through her devilish secrets. And her hopes is that she can hang on to her stuff like Putin. Does that make sense? And here we got Jared kind of mixing things up because he is on everybody's charts. And these conditions make it a little difficult for me to share things. But Nancy Pelosi has got a new a new focus this week. If we want to look at this here, what stood out to me? Oh, the FBI. Not only did they have the 10 of Wands in the 10th house, they have the Queen of Pentacles herself. The Queen of Pentacles. Here. Sorry. This is the worst video. I'm so sorry. They had the Queen of Pentacles. They had Rebecca in the 1st house. So the thing that they're focused on, their identity, who they are, what they're going to do this week. Rebecca Mercer showed up here. Indictments to serve in the 10th house. Now, I don't know if she's going to get indicted, but I'm just saying something very peculiar is going on. Yeah, because in the 8th house of other people's money, taxes, Saturn, they have the Ace of Pentacles. And that is also shared. See, drats. I can't find it. But Nancy's got the Ace of Wands. She's got the op going on in the 9th house. So she's looking at international misgivings. And she is sharing that with Jared. Had the Ace of Wands, the op, in his public house. And a lot of people have the 8 of Pentacles. That's what I thought. So all that data that's been going on, Jared has it in his first house of identity, what he does this week, sharing documents, sharing data. Junior had it in his 9th house of places far away, which matched Donald. So we're data, documents, refining and honing that skill of how they use big data. And Nancy had the 8 of Pentacles in her public house, kind of like what's crowning her, the horoscope this week. 8 of Pentacles, the data, the operations. When I clarified that, she had the Devil, hey Rebecca, and the Hermit, investigations, and 7 Swords, stealing elections. So I'm sorry, this is just not the best setup, but I had to share this with you before this gets really, really bonkers. Okay, you guys have a great Aloha Friday, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.